A war that changed the world forever. The Great War. But how did a single gunshot spark a conflict so huge that millions died? Let's travel back and uncover the real story of World War I. Between 1914 and 1918, the world witnessed the first, truly global war, fought in muddy trenches, on stormy seas, and even in the skies. Empires fell, new countries were born, and the map of the world changed forever. Before the war, Europe was a powder keg. Big empires like Britain, France, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Russia were competing for power. Secret alliances, military build-ups, and old rivalries made Europe ready to explode at any moment. On June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, was assassinated in Sarajevo by a Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip. This single gunshot triggered a chain reaction. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia and declared war. Russia backed Serbia. Germany backed Austria-Hungary. France and Britain were dragged in too. Within weeks, Europe was at war. The Central Powers, the Allied powers, most of the war on the Western Front turned into brutal trench warfare. Soldiers lived in muddy trenches for weeks, surrounded by rats, disease, and constant danger. New weapons like machine guns, poison gas, and tanks made killing even deadlier. Huge battles like the Battle of the Somme and Verdun saw millions of casualties. Entire villages were wiped off the map. Airplanes and submarines were used for the first time on a large scale. War was no longer just on land, but also in the air and sea. World War I was truly global. Fighting spread to Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. Colonies sent millions of soldiers to fight for European empires. In 1917, the United States joined the war after German submarines sank American ships. By 1918, Germany and its allies were exhausted. Revolution swept through Russia, leading to the Bolshevik takeover. On November 11, 1918, an armistice was signed. The guns finally fell silent, but at a terrible cost, over 16 million dead. In 1919, the Treaty of Versailles officially ended the war. Germany was blamed and forced to pay huge reparations. Borders were redrawn. New nations appeared, and the League of Nations was formed to prevent another war. But its failure would lead to World War II just 20 years later. World War I changed everything. Empires collapsed, technology advanced rapidly, and millions of people questioned their leaders. It also gave rise to dictators like Hitler, who promised revenge and greatness for their broken countries. This was the story of the war that was supposed to end all wars, but instead, it set the stage for even greater conflicts. If you want to know what happened next in World War II, don't forget to subscribe and watch our next video.